Good morning. As you can see, I have two pretty big boxes here. This is my Soaper's Choice order. I needed more sunflower oil and I needed more shea butter. So these are what these giant boxes are. They're really heavy. I think I'm gonna move them into my garage. Today is candle making day. I need to make those candles today or I won't be able to bring them to my friend. So let's get started on that. I think I'm going to get the wax melting, and then as it's melting, I'll find something else to do. This is a really big wax melter. I got it from the company To Auto. I've used it once and I really liked it. And hopefully it's gonna continue impressing me. I like that it melts everything super fast and you can melt a lot of wax at once as well, which is cool. So I'm going to load it up with wax and get that melting. So this candle is going to be a cocoa apricot candle. And I was keeping this wax in my garage and it is rock hard. So I don't know how easily this is going to cut. I hope it cuts semi-easily, but you never know. Usually if it's room temperature, it cuts really easily. It's kind of like soy in that way. Okay, it's not too bad. Nice. Just measuring out the wax here. I currently don't have candles in my shop, and I haven't had candles in my shop for a while, but I plan on adding some of these candles to the shop. I don't think I'll ever be known as the candle maker person, and I don't think Quench Bear will ever be your go-to candle place, but it's nice having candles available if people want them, especially if I know that the candle that I'm making is safe because I've tested it, which you should do with all of your products no matter what. Why not stock them? And there's a few people that like them and make that purchase. So I'm going to put this wax into my melter. There's quite a bit of splashback there. Probably should have been a little bit more careful. While that wax is melting, I wanted to unbox this big package for you guys. I put in an order at Rouge Canada for some fragrance oils, and I wanted to show you what I picked out. I really love Rouge Canada, not only for their amazing fragrance oils, but the owner is one of the most beautiful human beings ever. She works so hard at her business, and she truly is a candle maker that makes candle supplies for other candle makers. So she knows exactly what you're looking for in terms of what makes a good candle scent. So I put in an order for strawberry shortcake. And this is going to be the scent of today's candle. I love this version of strawberry shortcake. I've smelled other versions, but this one, honestly, hands down, smells the very best. Oh, let me just poke a hole in there. Oh, yeah. Yes, this fragrance oil is amazing. It's really great for Valentine's Day for obvious reasons, but it's one of those scents that you can absolutely sell all year round if you wanted to. Also wanted to try a few other scents that I have never smelled before. So one of them was this birchwood and vanilla fragrance oil. Oh, that smells amazing. I think where my company is going moving forward is more natural leaning. If I can't use an essential oil for the scent that I want, then I'll happily use a fragrance oil that has kind of a nature leaning theme to it. For example, that one was birchwood and vanilla. So kind of a forest, plants, botanical vibe. This one is morning fir. Smells amazing. This is like a sprucey, piney scent. And this other one, I'm excited to smell. This is wild sage and mint. Some of you might know this. I have a giant sage bush in my backyard that I absolutely love. Oh, and this smells amazing. What? Okay, this smells so good, and I cannot wait to use this in a soap. Sage and mint go together really well. That is fantastic. I have a few bigger bottles here. I ordered a big bottle of bergamot and clary sage. This is a nice, soothing, mild scent. I reach for this fragrance oil when I want a very light tone or note added to the blends that I do, but you can absolutely use this on its own. It's very clean and light smelling. Oh, I love that. Northern Woods is another favorite of mine from Rouge Canada. I live in the woods, so I also wanted fragrance oils that kind of match the vibe of where I actually live. Oh, this smells so good. And the thing about Northern Woods, it's nothing like morning fir. although they're kind of adjacent to each other. Morning Fir definitely has a heavier scent of pine, whereas Northern Woods, it's more of a blend. There is a top note of pine and woods, but that middle note of lavender is what makes it a little bit more nuanced, and I love it. This is such a great scent. Oh my goodness. A few more fragrance oils here. This one is lime leaf and dill. If you want a citrusy bright note, this is a good one, although the dill one is strange. I haven't seen dill added as a note in other fragrance oils, but with this it works. You can hardly smell it. It's mostly lime. The dill is kind of in the background, but if you don't know that this has dill in the name, you wouldn't pick it up, I don't think. It has a top note of lime, a middle note of the dill and green figs, and base of fern, cedar wood, and musk, and absolutely the base and the top notes are the main actors here. I'm gonna smell that again because it's so good. Oh, I love it. This next one is coconut and eucalyptus fragrance oil. I love this one too. This is so soothing. I really like coconut, but I don't really like coconut by itself. It needs to be friends with somebody. It needs to be hanging out with a group of people. And this pairing, coconut and eucalyptus together with some vanilla is, oh, almost dropped that, is perfect. I love that. I love when warm, nutty smells are paired with fresh, clean smells. It's like a weird marriage, but it absolutely works. And the last one I want to smell is Bamboo Showers. And this is a really clean scent, and definitely masculine leaning. It's very pretty though. It can be unisex. It has that top note of bamboo and then a middle of iris orchid, lily, and a base of musk. So if you want more gender neutral or more masculine type of products, then this would be a good one for you. Bamboo Showers. And she also, I didn't order this, but she sent me some, I think these are candle jars. Let us take a look. Oh, I already love this gold lid. Oh my gosh, she sent me more of those beautiful jars that are just slightly tinted a little bit. Aren't these gorgeous? Here's one of the, I think this is gray. Is this the gray one? Yeah, gray. When I made candles with these jars and sold them around Christmas time, they sold out so fast. Super, super quick. I actually forgot that I did that. Felt like it'd been a long time since I put candles on my website, but I actually just had them on there a couple months ago. Oh man, time's flying, don't you think? I think these are all the same blue color, blue-gray color. Nope, oh, we got a green one. This was my favorite color in the jars. I love this olive green. It's so sophisticated. Now I'm curious. Now I want to open them all. Oh, and here's a black one. This is also a really pretty jar. Another black one, another green one. Okay, well, this is unexpected. Thank you so much, Morouge. This is wonderful. I love their products. And I'm so glad I'm stocked up on strawberry shortcake because this is an amazing, amazing candle scent and definitely one of my best sellers. So let's go ahead and continue the candle making. For my candles today, I'm going to be using these jars. They're clear. And while the candle wax is melting, I like to just prep them. Although the wax is pretty much melted right now. Hoping to make 6 candles, but I always have an extra jar just in case there's excess and I have a place to pour that wax to. I'm going to be using these wicks today. These are just cotton wicks, and I'm going to adhere them to my jar using this sealant. This is pretty powerful, which is awesome. So what I do is I just put a little bit of this onto the end of my wick, and then I stick it to the middle of my jar here, and then I just tap it down and I let it set for some time. I am so excited to be going to Canada for the first time in almost 2 years. I've really missed Canada a lot. I've really missed Calgary, and I've really missed my friends in Calgary. I'm not a big socializer, like I don't need a big group of friends around me physically all the time. I have my few friends, my few core friends, and that's all I need. So the fact that I don't have that here doesn't really worry me too much. The older I get, the more I realize it's better to have fewer friends that are excellent than a bunch that are just meh, you know, for the sake of having company. I think I've talked about this before. What we also have in common with my friends in Calgary is that we have all taught English in Korea. 2 of them taught in the same town that I taught in, but we actually weren't friends until we left Korea. Like, I mean, we knew of each other and we were friendly, but I wouldn't call us super close. We were just Facebook friends for a really long time. And then we just kind of kept up with one another. My friend Jenny, she played a huge role in our successful move to Calgary. She was our place that we crashed when we were looking at houses, and she gave us her expertise about the city. Her and her husband was also amazing. I love that she loves this candle. This is the only scent she purchases for me, and she purchases 3 at a time, always. Okay, that is good. And you want to let these set for at least an hour. Because if you pour too soon, then they might not stick. Next, I'm going to measure out my fragrance oil so that I could have it at the ready. Use my strawberry shortcake fragrance oil by More Rouge. You can use this in candles up to 10%. 4 to 10% is the range. And it does have vanilla content in it, so if you were to use it to make soap, that soap will probably discolor. Perfect. So I'm going to set this aside and add it to my wax when the time comes. And another fun thing that I'm going to be doing is dyeing the candle wax today a really pale pink. And the way I'm going to do that is through this magenta liquid dye by Windy Point. And a little goes a long way with liquid candle dyes. You want to definitely be using a dropper, and you want to have handy on you paper towels to set down your dropper because the stuff gets everywhere. So the more control you have, the better. So I'm just going to have that at the ready also over here. So our wax is ready, and the way to get it out of the auto is this handy lever here. So I'm just gonna place it over the edge, put my pitcher underneath to catch all that wax. This spout is super handy. And I've turned off the machine because when you drain it like this, the wax tends to smoke in the hot metal that's on the inside that melts it. So the machine's turned off for now. And I think I'm just going to shut off that valve. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is add our dye. Literally just do a couple of drops to make it the palest pink. Added 3 drops there. Right now I'm just getting rid of as much of it as possible. Resting that on my waiting paper napkin. I'm gonna add my fragrance oil, and then I'm going to stir for 2 minutes. Oh, that smells so good. All right, so that is done. You can now pour. These look really red right now, but they will lighten to a very pale pink. Just wait and see. So the candles are poured. The last step to do before I walk away, which I admittedly almost forgot to do, is to center the wicks. And I'm using these guys from More Rouge, and they are super easy to use. You adjust the sides to be the size of your jar. So these are 3 inches. I'm doing this right? Yeah, 3 inches. Let's see how that looks. You go thread your wick through there, and this should hug the mouth of your candle pretty nicely. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Press them closer if they're not quite snug. This is pretty snug. So we are going to pull this straight and then hook it onto this little hook that's here. And that should keep your wick pretty darn straight. So I'm gonna give my candle some space so I can use these wick centerers. These are super duper handy. I really like them a lot. And I've tried quite a few wick centerers before, but this one is very simple. So here are the candles after a few minutes have passed. I think this is about 20 minutes. And you can see this perfect blush pink color. And this is just 5 drops of dye. And even though this tiny bottle, this is only 15 milliliters, is so small, I feel like it's going to last me forever. So these candles will need at least another 24 hours to completely harden. And I'm gonna let them do that. And then tomorrow I'm going to label them and you'll be able to see what they will look like finished, which is exciting. But that's it for today and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. It's the next day and it is snowing so beautifully outside. Let me show you. I personally love when it snows, but it's a little worrisome because Kayla and I are leaving for our big road trip tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean 4 in the morning. So we'll see if the snow stops and if it makes the roads not great to be road tripping on. I mean, I know right now it's probably not going to be great, but if we wait a while, the way things usually happen with Washington is we'll get snow and then it doesn't stick, it'll just melt. So we'll see. I do plan on finishing off those candles today, so I will show you that. I designed some new labels and I can't wait for you guys to see the finished product. Let's go. And here are the candles. I think they turned out so beautiful. The color is just the perfect shade of pink. I love that soft pink shade. It's not too vibrant, but it's also not too pale. It's perfect, pretty much. So now all I have to do is remove the wick centerers and I can show you how good of a job they did actually centering that wick. I need to trim those wicks and then we're gonna stick the labels on. So the first step is to remove these wick centerers. To trim the wicks, I like to use a candle wick trimmer. And it has that angle so that you're not disturbing the candle when you're cutting the trim or you're cutting the wick off. And you can see that these candles actually don't have any tunneling. And that's why I like using cocoa apricot wax, because the instances of tunneling are so much less. I have had candles that do experience tunneling even using this wax, so it'll happen regardless, but I find that it's not as often when I use this wax. And a way to help with that is by using vessels that are a little bit warmer so that the temperature of the glass and the wax isn't so stark. Because I have found that using very cold glass containers can cause a whole bunch of issues like the tunneling and the adhesion to the sides, the spots, the wet spots, I think is what they're called. But this candle is just absolutely gorgeous and I love it. So for the labels, I'm using these really great quality labels from Online Labels. And I like them because they literally have any size you can think of. And if they don't have the size, they do custom sizes as well, which is awesome. I've always been able to find the right size though on their website. And when it comes to the design of these labels, I went super simple. You can't even see it. I don't know why I'm holding it up. But I went really simple, like I have with all of my labels. I think I explained it in another video, or I might have explained it in this video. It's hard to remember. But I just don't have the time. I can't be changing all the colors and everything. And the faster I can do things, the more I can provide products for my customers without having the website be sold out all the time, and I just don't like that. This is how it looks. Isn't it beautiful? I absolutely love it. It's so Valentine's Day coded. It's so romantic. It's so flirty. It's so sweet. I love it. I'm working on getting these candles available in all of my core scents, which will take some time, but thanks to that auto machine, I can do candles fairly quickly. These jars have a nice edge that I can align my label with so that it's pretty straight. I've seen these really fancy label applicators that people have. They're like a rolling machine where you set your product up and it rolls the label on and it's perfect every single time. I would love to get one of those machines someday, but my budget currently does not allow for that. And here is the finished candle. So cute. Of course, also warning labels, you must put them on your candles. I like to put mine at the bottom of the candle, and there are these round stickers. I'm also wanting to make pillar candles, not yet for sale, but for my own home. I have a lot of these candle sticks that hold pillar candles, but no pillar candles. I bought them with the intention of making the pillar candles, but I haven't yet. Definitely want to do that, and I think I will do that as my first project when I get back from my trip. I've been trying to make my vlogs less random so that it's easier for you guys to find the projects that you want to make. For some reason, the idea of selling pillar candles makes me nervous because the wax isn't contained, and I just feel like so many more things can go wrong. So I'm not quite ready to sell that sort of product just yet, and I don't know if I'll ever be ready. And that's the thing, when you have your own small business, you don't have to sell everything under the sun. Definitely sell as much as you can handle because variety is good. But if you don't like making something, don't sell it. You are the boss of your own company, and that's why you started a small business in the first place. So might as well do what you want to do. And I just got some news that I've sold my first products out of that consignment store situation. So that is very exciting. I got my first little deposit from the store. And I knew my products would sell. I was really surprised at how much had sold, and I'm just really excited for the coming months. And as the reputation of my company grows a little bit in this community, I can only foresee it getting better, but I'm patient. I know it's gonna take some time, and I'm okay with that. Like, it took forever from when I first started the company in Toronto to getting steady customers in Midland. That was, I think, 3 years of just developing and trying and getting disappointed from zero sales, applying to different craft shows and farmers markets and getting denied. It can be so discouraging that first year, the first, second year, and even the first, third year. But you have to stick with things because the reality of a lot of success stories is that they didn't get success overnight. It was a very gradual, slow burn, which isn't a glamorous story to tell, and it's a lot harder to sell that kind of story to people, but that's the truth for the vast majority of us. All right, so I have my candles all labeled, ready to give to my friend. I do want to put a couple on my website, so by the time you see this video, you might see some on there, but I will also probably have other scents listed, so if it's sold out, there'll probably be other ones, so don't worry. This particular scent is amazing. Oh, I love it. I should have ordered more from Rouge, Canada. I also have some orders that I want to fulfill so that I can have a clear board before my road trip. I do plan on having a release while I'm away, so there should be more orders when I come back. So the less orders that I have to do, the better, and I have the time now, so why not? But that's it for today. All right, I will see you after my trip.
Hello, Editing Jerica here. I've done it again. I've reached an appropriate video length with so much content still left over. I needed to split it up. Also, it helps these videos, like I said, be much more focused. And as you can see, I'm making tallow lip balm in the next video. And I will absolutely be sharing that recipe. Don't worry. This video will hopefully be up by Thursday. Yes, I have a ton of content, too much to keep to myself, so starting this week, I'll be posting twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Thank you so much for your amazing feedback for my last video and also for being here. Thank you to my awesome patrons, and I hope to see all of you in that next video. Until then, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and keep making beautiful things. Bye, guys.